It's light, so much light. Wow, why so much light today? Life is incredible, life is incredible, life is incredible. Now, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, the family of Vibrantly African who have been there in the beauty back of it and in all its, how do you say it? Its downfalls, and today I am free because I can feel life. Remember yesterday when I said, and signs are very important. Signs are the language of the universe saying to you, I watch over you. Just watch the shape and the color of your atmosphere. And that's why I love Vunkua. Today I woke up and I'm sleeping a lot. I find myself sleeping at 8:30, 9:30, and completely gone. For 3 days I'm doing this now. And I'm saying sorry for the chaos out there in the world, those who have been following Vibrantly African. And today I thought to myself, yes, I say that, but there's more into what has happened in Vibrantly African. And it's so important for us to just be honest with ourselves. And we can only embrace life when we know that we're all born with a different touch in us. Some of us, we are born to define who we are. Some of us, we are born to share. Some of us, we are born to collaborate. Some of us. So in these collaborations, there's also a doors that opens fully and you can feel that they have opened. And once that happens, then you open yourself. But we also come from the world where we were scared. Life can put you into this fear as a human being. And the good thing about life, all of us, we want to do good. All of us, we want to share our expertise to our views, because of when you watch me, you are in my view. And some of us, I've made this analysis few years ago, about 10 years ago, that in life we are born out of cues. There's one Q, two, three, and these numbers, they've got a very important language in our world because of everything it's numbered. So if I meet you, you are near my Q. If I meet you for a day, that it's very important. And what I'm going to learn around that, it's what's going to make me feel flourish or feel kind of under your cocoon. So I'm one of those people who are really, really out, but also I really rely on my cocoon a lot because I don't want to create problems. What I don't want to do, it's not to create problems. And at this moment, the fact that Vibrantly it's not there, I feel sad, but yet I feel free in some ways because I had to make decisions. And you always have to choose you. Without you, you can never be able to be around the world. So there is such a beautiful positiveness of this event that I cared. It was really, really beautiful. Where people spoke, they knew that it was going to be Vibrantly African. I phoned people, I sent letters, and I asked for things they sent, and I went online and I presented, even though maybe one or two pictures I used because they were not supposed to be used, but I thought, okay, let me use because of it presents the story of what we are going to be presenting. Really sorry about that. But in terms of the story behind Vibrantly African remains, meaning that it's all about collaborations. But when you collaborate, know who's standing next to you, feel who's standing next to you, appreciate who stands next to you. Because I've got another life which I'm about to embark back to, which has been quite difficult. I've started the journey. I started the journey early in late 90s, and this journey was about me defining the art of education. Try studying. What does education mean? When we say we are educated, what do we mean? And this was the most amazing journey because I had to refine Carol Matebula, who was I going to be? as I came with a background that was really, really well. The light is so powerfully today. It's incredibly amazing. Now, having to want to learn the art of education, I was challenged with the word education. Was the biggest challenge of me as a woman, as a little girl or in South Africa, having to come from this vast negative energy that has put everyone in prison. And I was actually a part of that prison system. Even today, I'm still a part of that prison system. So having to go out there in the world after this so-called freedom in South Africa, and I looked at it and I thought, it's freedom, because I was always a questioner. I was always in viewing what was going on. So this freedom of South Africa didn't represent that at all. And then I left. For me, it didn't, because I had to know somebody before I could be, and I didn't really want to be a part of know who don't know who. And of course I left. I went. I came to Europe. Oh, but in South Africa as well, I was doing very well. I had a spa. I had a mini spa in. I started at the airport, international airport in Cape Town, and that was fantastic. I worked with what do you call them again? Those who drive airplanes, when they used to pass before they go to wherever, they used to pass there and they buy their stuff. Some of them, you give them a head massage and etc. But it was such a breakthrough for me as a girl coming from my situation and trying to find out, how do I fit in the world? Because the only way for me to master and understand education, I had to understand what surrounds me and what language are there. And of course, it was a language of, we are going to be successful. We're going to be successful of our own. South Africa, it's free. But then you could see the whole story that was really, really the core fading away. And I thought, I'm not going to fade away with this. I'm going to define my education. What does education mean to me? And, I then started talking to friends, finding out. And I did fashion a little bit in South Africa. That's why I'm so much in fashion. That's why whenever I'm doing something, you will always hear fashion. It's not accidental. It's something that I adore, but not for me. I adore it to those who are doing it, those who take care. Yesterday, I got to phone them today. I had Emma and her daughters visiting me, and it was just the most amazing moment where I felt really down, and I met these beautiful people through what I have created, which is called Vonkoa African Massage. Powerful element that I have created, and very proudly to say that's why I'm proud, because I have education. It's created by someone. A doctor had to take bodies and disturb lots of bodies, even today. And they call it, that's when they do their studies, isn't it? And then in the studies, they have to do practicals. So practicals are made in our bodies, are made in our minds, are made everywhere. So I had to analyze all these things. And then at the end of the day, I thought to myself, Carol, there's a blinder here. There's a massive blinder in the world. The world takes kindness of others with fear, and it turns it into a systematic. And once we're in systematic, we can never be free. So I, on the other hand, I follow the flow. I follow the flow, and the flow is, be who you want to be. Vibrantly had just collapsed yesterday, and I'm following the history, and I'm going to share the history because I've been away for days trying to figure it out. How was I going to communicate moving forward into understanding the core essence behind Vibrantly African? It is about defining the art of society discussions and society barriers and society, and how do we always emerge into the new and come out and really listen. Because at the end of the day, I live in the United Kingdom, and I've been living here now for 6 years. And in these 6 years, I have met people. And normally I'm very open, but yet I feel, I'm very, yesterday you saw, if you look at the video yesterday that I did, it was shadowed. And I say to you guys, why is it so dark? And I knew it was dark because of there was no sunshine yesterday in Vibrantly African, and I couldn't deal with it. And today I woke up and there was sunshine. So we are sunshines. And so the essence of Vibrantly African, it was to meet together and celebrate and create connections. As you all know, that we are not in the United Kingdom forever. We're here as explorers, exploring, meeting, communicating, and saying to the people, I am very shy and I'm still trying to find home, because that I still don't know it in terms of my people. And that's why London was such a big step for me to step in. But then I realized we are all so how do you say it? So much in our cocoons, and I understand, and that makes us not really fully to know each other's flowers that needs to be flourished. Because immediately as we meet and discuss and do that, then we create barriers in our minds, because of we're all in our minds, we're all thinking, we all, there's so much that takes us away from who we are. Now, for me, on the other hand, I do my best, while I was doing Vibrantly African, my home was not a home I knew. I looked at it and I thought, oh, shame, my home looks so sad. And this happens just on the last 3 months of the event, which I have been dealing with this event for almost 8 months, promoting once a week. Yes, some channels I left a little bit because of I'm not familiar with them. The only place that I left was Instagram because I don't know it so well. But I've got so many channels which I'm going to be sharing with you guys starting from tomorrow, showing you the preparation that took place behind Vibrantly African, also the failures that came and that taught me again, I learned. But I think the most thing that had made Vibrancy to fail, it's not failing actually. I just took a decision, and I took a decision that was gonna create less stress than really having a lot of stress. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to sit down and plan. And why did I plan it like that? Because I looked at, there's always a back office. And even though everything can look shiny in the front, if the back office, there's a little bit of dilemma, that collapses. So it collapsed Vibrantly African because of big issues. And these issues I experienced them last year on the external side of it. And I didn't want to experience the same financial issues when I get to the event. So because of that, I had to cancel the event because of there was no commitment. Even though in writings people made commitments, they said yes, they're coming, they send me the stuff, and I started promoting for 8 months, and one day people came and say we are not. And at that moment, also the what do you call that? The internet connection came in and collapsed. So you collapse, we can be strong and all that, but sometimes it's all about what do you do to move forward and move forward without. And this is where it gets so interesting. When I think the best thing as people is that let's look around us. Let's try to define our community in probably 5 sections. Now, the first one will be spirituality. And spirituality comes in so much different elements of it. Then you have mindfulness. And I'll always say that because spirituality can sometimes lead us into extremist. And when I say spirituality, I'm talking about religion, I'm talking about beliefs, I'm talking about structural of groups, think alike, and with all this. And then you've got also the health, which is very important. And then you've got your social needs, which is, of course, shopping and all that. And then you've got intimacy, which is your friends, your family, and all this. So in that, you have to define yourself around those. But then sometimes as we meet as people, we forget that the importance of like-minded people. Because when you are with like-minded people, it always makes life easier. So I think what I'm trying to say is that vibrantly African, it has a massive potentials. But I think what I need to do, I need to broaden its wings, because I think I've been narrowing it because of I try to belong, and I think, yeah, this is a very interesting subject actually that I have to bring about myself. I think I'm struggling with self-identity. Look at that breath. That was because I'm struggling with self-identity. I do my best to try to belong and to try to have a family that I can belong with. But as I'm going out there, I'm also very afraid because I've experienced lots of things, you guys, that has made me really to be very terrified. I get terrified very easily. And this shyness, it comes from that. So I'm always very alert. And because of I'm alert, it gives me chances to come forth in life, or it blocks my coming forth. But when I'm in health and well-being, and where people are celebrating and people are calm, and people, they just there to find themselves, and they're smiling and they eat, and then they become, then there I become very, I open up and I feel like this is where I want to be. So I want to create that environment. And to my question today to myself, as I have to reflect, is why vibrantly it's not flourishing as it should in London, Carol? Good question, Carol. That's question number one, though. Why vibrantly it's not flourishing in London? Hard question to answer, Carol. Reason being, I don't know the country so much. I'm here for 6 years. And in these 6 years, I understand some things about London, actually Europe at large, but London a little bit of extreme in a way, because now Londoners, people are very, they've got their own journey in their own country. And when you get into a country, you find a country with a story, and you become an extra on top of a story. And once you understand this, then you start thinking like, okay, so what is vibrantly African? For me, vibrantly African was to mix everyone together. And when I mix them everyone together, everybody does their own thing, but I'm a leading of this journey to where we are going, because of I know exactly the ending result, which is for me, it's always very, very much so the importance of it, the ending results. That's why when I communicate with people, I'm so clear with everything. So that, but then because of lack of communication, I find in London, communication is the most difficult thing about the country. In terms of how do you say it? Probably on my side, especially because of I'm terrified, so I get chicken very quickly. I look very I look very strong and very, but on the other hand, I'm very, very fragile because I don't like pushing. Sometimes maybe my promotion online, it might look pushy because of I thought it's something interesting, something new, and something that people might like. And that's why I did all these videos and all this. And so this is me of saying, hi guys, but beneath that, I'm also very shy. So communication, I think I find it maybe the biggest dilemma of not letting vibrantly shine to the core, because I shy away. I definitely shy away. Like now, I think people are expecting me to phone and explain, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this. That's why I can come. I'm so sorry. My chest is very dry, very dry. I think it's because of the stress. Now, excuse me. I'm just gonna get water. Bear with me. Oh no, it didn't ice. Oh, it iced and it broke. Oh, damn it. Okay. Oh, I broke my glass. Wow. Haha. hi guys. Now, yesterday I did something very. Now, why is it getting dark? Strange. You see now what I mean? And the light is still the same, or it just went off. I don't like it when it's so dark. Now, yesterday I put two glasses in my fridge to try to make them, cold, cool fast. And then I forgot them there, and then they broke in two of them, and they are the most beautiful glasses that I use to put water in them, and it makes water so nice. So sorry. So that's a downfall of Vibrantly African. The communication. I don't know probably how to communicate with the people here in my writing. Mhm. This thing, okay. In my writing it's terrible, you guys. But I'm being honest though, because I think sometimes we busy with perfection of the fingers. We are not so good. You can see even when I move them, they're not. But in terms of healing, they are so powerful. These fingers, I adore them. Now, but in writing, probably not. So if the spelling, that's what didn't really bring the story of Vibrantly forth in the United Kingdom, probably that's what it is. Because we didn't get lots of ticket sales. And there was a lot of, so it's not, it feels as if it's not an event for United Kingdom. And this is my sincerity, because I've been doing it for 3 years now, and in these 3 years the concept is incredible. Everybody loves the concept, everybody loves the ideas, everybody spoke about the lineup. And yes, I met some people along the way who had to leave earlier, and we communicated, and they were really lovely, and so when you run such an event, you being yourself, you expose yourself fully to who you are, and you can only wish for the best. And the best that I wish is that when women know that we can change the arc of our universe by just being ourselves and being supportively fully for the person who's next to you, just for the fact of supporting, because it's quite interesting. But what I'm trying to say is that I love Vibrantly African, has become a part of me, like Vumpua as it is, and it's moving forward. And I would like to work with women who feels very, very strongly that they've got what it takes in the world. They are ready to move and learn, because I tell you what, I've got a massive knowledge in my hands. I'm very knowledgeable. Yes, in terms of the spelling and all that, I'm terrible at that, but I really don't care much about that. What I care about, it's the creativity that I hold. Yesterday, as everybody was mourning the not happening of Vibrantly African, I was creating Vibrantly African. I've just changed my business plan just a little bit. I've got a business plan, from week 1, week 2, and I'm going to do exactly that starting from next week, Monday. And of course, I'm going to do my best to pay those. I just see that it's going to take me until the 2nd of October to be paid by, what do you call that? By Eventbrite. For those who have bought tickets, and you'll receive your tickets slowly until it's done. But you'll get each and every one. The only thing that you need to do for me, guys, is to send me where did you buy your ticket, with the name of the company on top, because there's lots of online places where people could buy tickets. So I don't have only one system. I've got about 4 systems. So if you have your name tag on it, that would be fantastic. Hey, this is Carol Matiwula saying, this is Vibrantly, and Vibrantly looks for women like I. Women who grow up without family, without either their mother, either their father, and they feel like they need to create something of themselves. I would create a sense of security and balance. And when I say this, I'm not the one to steal money from people. I'm not the one to plan and connive and get things from people for free. Yes, there's been some people who have came to me and I've said, yes, you don't have to pay. You can take a big stand, and that you can help me with what you do with them, with which is promotion. And then things were agreed. And this is for me. It's if we're doing the same thing, why can't we help each other? So I'm one of those. I'm very supportive and I like to promote people. I really, really do. But I always find it ironic. How come there's not so much glory? Because I want to belong too much. And because of I want to belong, it hurts because I don't know how to do it. I think it has to come naturally. But it does not, because of most of people in London, really, I don't know them. They never invited me to their home. Few of them have. I think about 3 people. I've never been invited to a party, to a birthday, to a even Christmas. So this makes it harder for you to be open. And this is me saying, really, from the bottom of my heart, it's very, very hard to open and say, this is who I am, in terms of not feeling afraid the moment you feel a little bit of an inch of, of a different discussion. And then it makes you feel like I'm gonna hide again to that cocoon of mine. So London has been that, but the birth of Vibrantly African was born in London. Now, this is me talking about why sometimes we have to make decisions. I knew that it was going to be very embarrassing, of course, because I canceled the event within 3 days, and it was after I've looked and I've thought of the first one was fantastic because it went as planned, and I didn't lose money as planned. The second one, people came and I thought, oh, it's my community, let me do. And then I ended up being paid £20 on the corner, £15 there, and some people screaming at me and some people leaving. It was very, very difficult last year. So when I saw those elements to the final, because I thought, oh, we have agreed, I've reminded people have said yes, they'll write letters, so they didn't send letters. Because I've said, there was a letter that said, please, if you're not participating, write me back and say, Carol, we are not taking part. And people didn't do that. So when people didn't do that, and so why I'm talking about this, it's not blaming really, but it's just saying that the speakers, they came in the sense of, they were doing something beautiful for the community and they were not going to charge me anything. So this is the beautiful side of the event. And these people are really, really incredible in what they do. Most of them, I don't know them. But having to compare energies, as I work with energies a lot, I feel that the group that I had this time in Vibrantly African were people of substance. They were amazing, and they didn't ask for even a cent, And my hope and wish was, God, make the event go well, and those people will get rewards, because I'm one of those. I'm a sharer. I share, and I've always been like that. Now, the event, nobody would ever know what is really, really the essence of Carol fully, as I'm about, of course, to embark to other channels of the world. But Vibrantly African, it's a worldwide thing. I'm writing letters. I started writing letters yesterday, and I went through the internet and I searched for things that are happening in Africa around health and well-being. And there's so much collaborations and collaborations and collaborations. As I'm searching for collaborations, I say, I'm so sorry that Vibrantly didn't take place, but I'm glad that I made this decision because I want to see Vibrantly that it's very free, really, that it's really, really beautiful, really, really stunning. From the first person who comes in, that person brings their beauty. And then the other one comes in and she brings her beauty, and the other one. And then we start taking this thing as ours and we start promoting it. And I think in events, especially collective spirits, we need to do that. We need to work together and flourish. So my intention was going to be for those who who came out when I say, can you please come speak at my event? I honor what you do. And they said yes. And that was the most amazing moment. So the speakers, thank you so much for taking your time. And you were very sincerely beautiful. I had conversations with you guys. You were really, really fascinating people. And so I wish I could have met you first time, you guys. This event could have been incredibly beautiful. And probably what people can say, why did you take the place where you were at? I went there, I saw it on Facebook in one of the groups, and I liked it, and I thought, wow, this building looks really nice. That would be nice to host an event there. That's how the dream began. And that was this year, February. No, this year, March. Yeah, no, February, actually. And I phoned, and they said, yes, you can come view the place. Within 3 days, I was there. And then they said to me, send us a business plan. How do you want to do this? And I sent it. And within a day, they responded and said, we love your plan. Come in. And that was the journey of this. And of course, I had a whole system of how was I going to promote it. Probably I'm not so good in putting PR communication out there because I did. It was too long. And probably that's why people didn't, So I'm rambling around a lot, trying to find the answer why Vibrantly didn't take place. But as I have explained before, so these questions are not to you guys. It's just the sense of my confusion that such a beautiful event should take place. Such a beautiful event coming from such an inspiring young woman, even though she's still struggling with her identity, not to the core, but a little bit wanting to have those I can call friends. But I do not compromise to become friends. No. If I have to compromise me, immediately I say, I choose and which I will always do that. So I love you guys and watch this space. Please take part in being the change in the world you want to see. I want to be the change in my community that I want to see. I'm still learning this. It's a tough journey. It's a tough journey. Because I'm very interested in our emotional psyche. I'm very interested in our reasoning psyche, how people reason, how people, I don't know. There's something about that intrigues me. I feel that's it. And because of this, I love people with brilliant minds. I like to speak. I like to explore. I like different subjects. And because of this, it makes me want to be the child of the world. And every girl and boy out there, a young woman, a man, a husband and wife, a cousin or whoever, do remember this. What I have learned in life, you are not stupid until you decide to agree that you're stupid. And we reside in the world that makes you feel like you are not intelligent enough to do anything. And I'm saying this because this has been a story since I was a little girl until I became a woman, until I became an inventor of something, and until I invented a name, and the name became very powerful in the world. So I say hallelujah. And who am I? I'm a girl who didn't know her mom. I'm a girl who was nearly killed. I was a girl who didn't get education. I was a girl who was raped I don't know how many times. I was a girl who was taught that if you do not study the Western world way, you will never go anywhere. Your borders will be very small. So you got to educate yourself. And I defined the art of this. I said, in the world, we come here with our own light. We come here well defined. That's why we know exactly through those zillion sperms that are running through to reach to the uterus. Only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Some women can carry 8 in that little what do you call it? UFO. For me, UFO is definitely the stomach of a woman because that's where things lands to the earth. Now, if you do not know the power of what it is to be you as a human being. You'll always be rewritten wherever you go in the world. You'll always be scarred or embraced or shined, and everyone would like to have conversations with you. Now you decide. You decide. So my decisions were always, I want to understand the world to the core. I want to understand the world to the core. But when I say to the core, that core, it's only my core. And when we say core, that's where things now differs. Because your core and your explanation, it is not my core and my explanation. I can be very, very passionate about what I'm saying, like with what I'm saying now. But if it does not resonate to you, it does not. Now, our core, it's what defines us. Me, my core, it's health and well-being, lifestyle, mindfulness, and art and culture. Of course, all that has to be under one umbrella. Spirit. Yesterday, for the first time in my life, my God, I did not listen to Beyonce. I have never listened to Beyonce, but yesterday I was looking for music. The Indian spiritual music. I love that music so much because I can really connect with it, especially when I'm trying to rebuild my inner spirit. I don't know, it's very strange, but I connect. Then I came across this song of Beyonce, Spirit, and it's on my website. If you go to my website, www.vibrantly-.com, you'll find it. It's really sitting there, expressing who I am and what's going on in my life today. So you are the spirit, you can do whatever you want. Now, the fact that Vibrantly didn't happen today, Vibrantly will happen either with me or either with someone marrying the idea in London and changing the name and doing it because it's worth to be done. Now, I'm saying this because of London. It's not a place for me. I felt really isolated. I felt alone. That's why I created these kinds of things of Vibrantly, so I could meet people and but not harassment. I've went through lots and lots and lots of harassment since I was here. And so there's a lot of me. I'm just really explaining myself, not really saying blah, 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 but saying, somebody has said to me, Carol, the land where you live chooses you. If you go to the land and that land, things don't happen, you weren't supposed to be in that land. And that land, it's the United Kingdom. Not bad, not nothing, but it does not resonate with my soul. I don't know why. I thought, let me do this Vibrantly African now to create collaborations and to find someone that I can work with until the final line. And then I would definitely leave. And I was still in two doubts. Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I stay? Massive dilemma in my brains. And also because of Brexit, of course, because of I'm Belgian by paper and also, of course, South African. So yeah. So this is me saying, watch, I'm busy drafting things around Vibrantly African now to move forward. And now it's not going to be so widely advertised. It's going to be privately advertised. Only few of them will receive them in their inboxes wherever I'm connected with them. And when I say with them, now I'm talking about the rest of the world that I know. Vibrantly African, it's taking its core foundation to another level, and I pray that God makes it shine because it deserves to shine. Thank you so much. This is Carol Machibula saying, once again, sorry that the event didn't take place yesterday. Forward me the right information where you have bought your ticket, as I have 4 different places where people can buy tickets. So if I have a name, that will make it much easier. Then you'll get your money. And sometimes it might take few days. Bear in mind until I receive money from those people who provides this. What do you call it? The thing there of money. What do you call it again? E-commerce. Yes. So thank you so much once again. This is Carol, and go once again in Vibrantly African, www.vibrantly african.com and listen to Beyonce, one of her best songs ever, Spirit. One love. God bless. Bye for now. This is Carol. My eyes look so tired.